Now, as we go through this information tonight, you guys will truly hear some life-changing information. First of all, let me just let you know, my name is Shane Gore. I'm going to be one of your hosts tonight. And you will hear some truly life-changing information. And as we go through this information, I'm sure you guys are going to have some questions that may arise. We will even present some questions to you as we go through this webinar tonight. So I do want to encourage everyone to grab a pen and a paper before we get started. So as you have those questions, you can write them down. And at the end, we will give you an opportunity to have your questions answered, okay? So I'll give everybody a minute or two to grab a pen and a paper, get comfortable, and we'll get started right after that.
People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. Rita Davenport said money ain't important, but it's right up there with oxygen. And let me tell you something, fellas, even if you're as homeless as I am, if you got some money, women will find something cute on you. He got earlobes like Denzel, honey. Money makes a difference. I used to be so broke when creditors would call the house, my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy said he ain't home. I was so broke at one time in my life, I walked by a bank and tripped the alarm. I tell you, poverty sucks. You hear me? Repeat after me, please. I'll never be broke again. Yes, write that down. I affirm that I'll never be broke again. Never. Never will I ever be broke again. Let me tell you what money does. Number one, it gives you control over your life. Write that down. Number two, it gives you options. Three, it allows you to live a life of contribution, to contribute to things that you feel strongly about. Like this ministry and the work of Project 2000 will be doing to change the lives of young people. Bishop Jake's vision is that we can have Little League football, then we can have Little League dermatologists and cardiologists and endocrinologists. So he's now establishing an institution, Project 2000, to give our young people the methods, the techniques to reinvent themselves as we go into the next millennium. And this era that Peter Drucker calls the era of the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. So here's the first step to accumulating wealth. If you expect to do it, write this down. You must be willing to do the things today others won't do, in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. That's why the book of life said the road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it, because few there be that are willing to do the things today others won't do, in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. What are the things that others won't do? Number one.
Okay, so I'm back. We'll get started. Again, those of you who just signed on, my name is Shane Gore. I'm going to be one of your hosts for tonight's Highway to Freedom Special Opportunity Overview webinar. Now, we have different folks from different backgrounds, different walks of life. Some of you are already on the Highway to Freedom. Some of your candidates who are invited on tonight who are considering being part of the Highway to Freedom. And our goal here, whether you are already a member or whether you're not, is to simply bring value and give some type of education towards financial freedom. Tonight's topic is going to be, there are several ways to exercise the body and many more ways to work out the mind. But how often do you do money exercises? And by the end of this webinar tonight, we hopefully will be able to answer those questions for you in regards to that topic. So to get started, I want to give a little history about myself and how I came up with this brand, or how we as a leadership here came up with this brand called The Highway to Freedom. And in order for me to do that, I want to kind of take you back and give you a little history about myself. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, 1981. Do the math on the age. But born in 1981 in Brooklyn, New York, to a young mother, a single mother at the time. And at a young age, she sent me down south to live with my aunt and uncle. And the reason I bring that up is because my aunt and uncle, they were great role models for me at the time. Now, at the time, I wasn't excited about moving down south, but it turned out to be a very positive thing for me. My aunt was a teacher at the high school. She taught computers, and my uncle was a band director for a moment in time. Then he became the principal at the middle school, and I attended both of those schools. So needless to say, attending in schools with the folks who were raising me gave me a lot of structure, and it forced me to walk a straight line, if I must say. Through that, I was in a lot of extracurricular activities, sports. I was on the band at school. I played the piano in church. And even at that age, I was making some good money playing the piano at the church. I mean, I could sit in church for 2 hours and make about $400 a week, whereas a lot of the friends I were going to school with, in order for them to earn income, they had to work 20 and 30 hours at McDonald's and the supermarket and different things of that nature. I had the opportunity at a young age to travel the world with them. They were not only had their regular jobs, but they were also entrepreneurs. My uncle was a photographer, so he took weddings, and they were in MLM companies and network marketing companies. So they really laid out a great foundation for me, a model for me to emulate the type of lifestyle that I wanted to live, because I saw some of the freedoms that they had and some of the luxuries of life they were able to obtain, and I was able to see that at a young age. Needless to say, 1999, when I graduated high school, the day after I graduated, I moved back to Brooklyn to live with my mom. And it wasn't all the same. I mean, at that age, and it was only right, but I was forced to go out there and earn my own lifestyle. So at that point in time, I made it up in my mind to go out there in this world and achieve that lifestyle that I saw being raised by my aunt and uncle. So I got my first job working at Foot Locker. Now, of course, the normal way of life, society teaches us to graduate high school, go to college, get a degree, and get a good job. At the time, my mother didn't have those funds to, pay for a college education, and honestly, I didn't either. But my goal was going to be to get a job and go to college, do the American way. So I got that job at Foot Locker, and I was excited. I said, yeah, I'm going to be able to replace that lifestyle. I'm going to be able to pay for college and things of that nature. And at the end of my first week of working at Foot Locker, I got a check for $90. And I said, whoa, $90? I felt like I worked hard, especially compared to sitting in the church for 2 hours making $400 a week. And needless to say, I didn't stay there long because I didn't see that was going to add up to the lifestyle that I wanted. So I got another job at Starbucks. And you know what? Before I go any further, I want to pull up this demonstration and give you a little walk through my life through Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. Some of you may be familiar with this cash flow quadrant. If you know anything about it, Robert Kiyosaki always talks about being able to, if we want the financial freedom, we want the wealth, we want the time freedom, we need to be able to transfer ourselves from the left side of this quadrant as employees and being self-employed, and we need to be able to transfer ourselves to the right side of that quadrant and become business owners and investors. So at this part of my life that I'm talking about, I was an employee. And again, I got the next job at Starbucks. I had fun at Starbucks. I was a barista making coffee and things of that nature. Felt like I was working at the bar in a club or something like that. But still, at the end of the day, I got a check for like maybe $135 at that job. So I said, no, this is not going to cut it. I got another job, pretty good job at that point in time, working at DoubleTree Guest Suites in Times Square. And I was making good money. I was making tips from taking food to the rooms. I was a room server, so I would take the food to the rooms from the cafeteria downstairs. And it was a good job. I remember making about coming home with $1,000 in my pocket from that job. But at that young age, maybe I wasn't as serious as I should have been. It wasn't as career oriented as I should have been, like a lot of the folks that I was working with who had families and real responsibilities. I mean, I was 19 years old at that point in time. And I remember my supervisor coming to me one day and saying, Shane, you're an awesome worker when you show up. Because I got to the point where I would go to work late, and if I go to work late, I get chewed out by my supervisor. So if I got up late the next time, I wouldn't even go. Needless to say, after 2 months of working at that job, I got fired. And so the next opportunity I found for my life actually transferred me down to the self-employed quadrant of this cash flow quadrant. I was working with the perfume and cologne company, and this company, what we would do, we would go out and they would give us perfume and cologne, and we basically sell it the best way we knew how. It was really up to us to make the money the best way we knew how. So I like that opportunity though, because it truly put me in a position where what I put in is what I would get out. Unlike a lot of the jobs I had, I mean, I could work by somebody who was lazy and didn't work as hard, and I could be working really hard, but at the end of the week, we would get the same check. So I was a self-employed at that time, and I did great, got a lot of awards, and I got to the point where I said, you know what? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting a message. Just make sure you guys can hear me. Hear me with no problem. Let me see here. Getting a message from my leadership. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Oh, not showing the screen? Thought I was showing the screen. Give me 1 second. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing the screen. Thanks, guys, for letting me know. Okay, share screen. Can you guys see you should be able to see my screen now. Thanks for letting me know. The leadership in the background let me know I wasn't. So now you can see this cash flow quadrant that I'm talking about. As I was saying, I transferred from the employee sector up here. Now I'm talking about the self-employed sector. So yeah, I was out there selling perfume and cologne. I was working hard, all over New York City, Times Square, on the trains, at the airport, Port Authority, everywhere. I did very good at that. And then I transferred to another self-employed job because I felt, it's time to advance a little bit in life. Time to put the brown paper bag down and put on a shirt and tie. So I got a job selling life insurance. And I did very well selling life insurance. Through some of the success I had in life insurance, I've had the ability to travel all over the world. I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Aruba, I've been to Vienna, Austria, I've been to Mexico a couple times. All expense paid, staying at some of the top-notch hotels you could imagine, like the Ritz-Carlton. But what I found was, like Robert was saying here, where your time equals the money. And this highway to freedom is truly all about having financial freedom, but also having time freedom. And I found myself working 10, 11, 12-hour days, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And yes, the money was good, but it wasn't equaling to the quality of life that I was looking for in my journey. So through that walk, through those beginning stages of my life, I was also meeting other people who had the same mindset. And what we started doing through research, through education, through self-development, we started realizing that it is important for us to transition ourselves over here on the right side of this quadrant as business owners and investors if we truly wanted to have freedom. Now, people, we generally, if you think about it, we meet each other through streets and avenues and highways and byways. And here you guys might not have the same exact story that I have, but we generally meet at this intersection and we're looking for that financial freedom and that time freedom. People who thrive here on the highway to freedom, we have that same common goal in mind. So this is how we came up with the highway to freedom. Today or tonight, we're going to talk about what the highway to freedom encompasses of. As a business owner, we have partnered with a affiliate company called National Wealth Center that's grossed over $250 million, that's passed 100% commissions directly from member to member. And we've married that opportunity with the Forex, the foreign exchange market, which is a $5.3 trillion per day turnover investing market, giving us the opportunity to become business owners and investors. So what I'm going to cover in my portion of this webinar is the Forex market. Now, again, I call it Forex. Some of you may have heard of Forex. Some of you may be more familiar with the foreign exchange market. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. So what we've done, I've prepared a little video that explains exactly what Forex is. Okay, here we go.
If you have ever traveled to a foreign country, you may have needed to exchange your money. If so, you have already participated in Forex trading. Forex is the short form of foreign exchange. Well, Forex is a bit more than that. For example, companies buy goods from other countries. In order to buy them, they need to obtain the local currency first, just like us when going on holiday. The difference is they will exchange huge amounts. When these companies exchange these huge amounts, they will actually move the price because the demand for the currency that they need increases. When the demand increases, the price increases. With all this exchanging going on around the world, the exchange rates constantly move. This is how it works. When currencies are exchanged, they have a certain price, the exchange rate. As in any market, the price of a currency is determined by the law of supply and demand. If there are many people or companies that want to change euros into dollars, the price of the dollar will rise against the euro, and so the exchange rate will change. Let's use an everyday example to explain how you can actually profit from this. Say you live in Europe and went on holiday to the United States. Let's say that you changed your 500 euros into US dollars at the rate of $1.4 for every euro. You got 700 US dollars, but you do not spend any money at all. So you still have $700 after you come back. After the exchange rate moved from 1.4 to 1.3, instead of getting just 500 euros back, you actually get 538.5 euros. You have gained 38.5 euros simply from holding your money in dollars while the exchange rate changed. This is essentially how we trade in the Forex market. We buy a certain amount of a currency, hold on to it whilst the exchange rate moves, then change it back, making money along the way. How to decide when the right time to buy and sell is exactly what we teach you throughout the rest of our learning lessons. As you can imagine, traveling a lot and saving a bit of money on your holiday budget and then exchanging it, it's not really a practical approach to trading currencies. Fortunately, there is an easier way to do this. You can trade currency through online exchange offices called brokers. What this means is that you can exchange currencies online throughout the day and take advantage of the constantly fluctuating exchange rates. Just as in the example of when you went on holiday, you can buy different currencies and make a profit as the exchange rates change. This is trading the Forex market. Trading Forex online with a broker has many benefits. You can trade Forex from your home or anywhere that you have an internet connection. The Forex market never sleeps. It is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, and so can suit your daily routine. You do not need a huge budget to get started. As little as $150 is enough to begin trading and building your account over time. Of course, it will require some learning until you get there, but this is exactly what Tradimo is here for, to help you learn how to trade in a way that can suit your individual.
Okay, so that was a brief video explaining what Forex is, and I'm just going to recap some of the points that he made in that video. As we take a look here, as we're looking here, the New York Stock Exchange has a daily turnover of $50 billion. The UK markets have a daily turnover of $2.2 trillion. And if we look at the most liquid market in the world, the Forex market has a daily turnover of $5.3 trillion per day, okay? It's also a 24-hour market. So when they say 24-hour market, that's literally what they mean. The foreign exchange market opened this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And unlike the stock market, which opens at about 8 or I think it's 9 o'clock every morning, and it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every afternoon. Once the Forex market opened this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's continuing. Money is continuously working 24 hours a day until Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you the opportunity to take advantage of it. Okay, it's a highly leveraged market. So as he mentioned, you can start with something as small as $150 and build that account a little bit by little bit over time and see profitable gains on your investment. It's a highly volatile market, so you're able to make money very quickly with so much movement in the market. Okay, there are 37 major pairs, and you have the ability. So I like this last part, ability to go long and short. What they mean by that, think about the stock market. If you invest into a company, generally, when you invest in that company, when the company gains in value, you're making money on your investment. If the company's losing in value, you're losing money on your investment. But with the foreign exchange market, it doesn't matter whether the value of currency is going up or going down. You have the ability to make money as long as you're making the right decisions based on whether it's going to go up or go down. And there's another point that he mentioned in that video, which really hits home to me, is that you're able to trade the foreign exchange market wherever you have an internet connection. As I speak right now, I've been out here in Colombia. I was in Medellin, Colombia for a month. Now I'm in Bogota, Colombia. I've been out here for about 2.5 months, and I'm able to make money even while I'm on you can call it a vacation, like extended vacation, but because I have an internet connection, I'm able to make money no matter where I am in the world. Okay, so those are some of the highlights about Forex and how we're able to take advantage of it. Now, in regards to Forex and the highway to freedom, now we've taken advantage of the Forex market on the highway to freedom for about the last year and a half. For the first 6 to 8 months of that year and a half, it was about learning. It was an intimate group of us, about 8 to 10 of us that was trading together. We participated in different companies, learning about the foreign exchange market. We were on YouTube, getting all the knowledge we could. We were taking our lumps and our bumps in order to master the system that we have here now. And we do have this philosophy still in all that we live by here on the highway to freedom. I mean, we got to a point in time where we were starting to have success. We were seeing consistent gains on our investment. But for the fact that we live by this philosophy that says, if I can help enough people get what they want, I can have anything in the world that I want. So this is the reason and how we started opening this platform out to the public starting the 3rd week of 2017, what they call a Signals channel. Now, what is a Signals channel? Before I even talk about the Signals channel, let's talk about how easy it is or how smooth it is now to be able to trade Forex because of internet, because of technology as of today. What you're seeing on my screen right now is what they call a MetaTrader 4 app that you can literally download on your smartphone that allows you to trade the foreign exchange market no matter where you are, whether you're at work, whether you're on the move, whether you're on vacation. As long as you have a smartphone and you download this MetaTrader 4 app, you open out the foreign exchange markets and turn your phone into an ATM machine. Now, I'll give you an example of what the regular charts look like on a computer. This is what my computer charts look like. But you, in turn, can take this charts and put it on your cell phone through the MetaTrader 4 app. So it's become very smooth to trade the foreign exchange markets with technology as of today. And the reason I bring that out is because 5-10 years ago, foreign exchange market was not open to the average Joe Blow. I mean, to start off, you had to have at least $25,000 in an investment account to get started, and you had to make your trades through a broker. Now you can literally take your trades in your own hand. So we opened a Signals channel after we saw that we had a solid strategy that was bringing us consistent returns. And with this Signals channel, it allows the folks that we work with on our team that has that same mindset of financial freedom to simply play the age-old game called follow the leader. So our profitable traders simply put out the trades that they're taking, and it allows the team to simply follow them with their MetaTrader 4 app. Now, we do have what they call Telegram. Some of you may have heard of Telegram. Some of you may have heard of WhatsApp. But it's basically an app that allows our team to congregate and talk with each other and basically experience the Forex market together, so you're not out there alone. We also have a separate channel where we put what you're seeing on the screen. We put these type of what we call signals out for the team to follow. In this case right here, it says I'm selling the euro versus the Swiss franc. That's what the EURCHF stands for. The price where we're entering the trade and the risk that every member should be taking based on what is in their investment account. When it's time to close the trade, we put out another signal that lets them know to close it. In this case, we'll be closing the USD JPY at 61 pips. We closed the Euro Swiss franc in that case at 20 pips. With the standard account, that 61 pips would have equated to $610. The Euro Swiss franc would have equated to $200 you would have made right off of your cell phone. So that signals channel has been a great catalyst for us being able to help as many people as possible. We also have an educational platform through YouTube that we put out the videos that we've learned from. We've made videos ourselves that explains the strategy that we have that allows our winning percentages to be out of this world. Now, before I close out, documentation always beats the conversation. And here on the Highway to Freedom, our goal per week is to average 250 pips. With the risk that we take, we know if we can average 250 pips per week, that will allow us to average 5% returns in our investments per day, 25% returns per week, which will in turn allow us to double our investments on a monthly basis with a simple 250 pips. If I take a look, now this starts from the week 3 of 2017. And if I just casually scroll down and you look at this yellow line, this is the week closeout numbers. You look at that yellow line, you can see these numbers, 479, 306, 446, 5, they go on and on and on. And you can see we're definitely averaging with no problem the 250 pips that we need to be able to double our investments on a monthly basis. Now, some weeks are higher than others, and some weeks are lower than others. I mean, we've had literally weeks where the market was slow and we didn't close out any pips. But I'm proud to say that we're still averaging about 400 pips per week here on the Highway to Freedom. Any of you know about Forex or have been in different groups or whatever the case might be, you know that averaging 400 pips per week is definitely putting you on your way to financial freedom. I mean, our goal here is to have everyone trade with a standard account. And if you're averaging 400 pips per week, that means you're making about $4,000 per week in your investment account. I don't know much that you cannot do or places that you cannot go making about $4,000 per week. Now, we also have testimonials here. One of our leaders here that you're going to hear from next, he literally took an account in October from $200 following our system here on the Highway to Freedom that he's mastered over time and is taking that $200 account to over $55,000 at this point in time following our system. So to see more testimonials, now that's an awesome testimonial. We have testimonials of different sizes depending on when somebody started or whatever the case might be. And I encourage you all to check out our Facebook page. Our Facebook group is called Highway to Freedom FX. You can search us on Facebook and join our group and see a lot of the other testimonials from those who have joined us and taken this journey with us on the Highway to Freedom. So that gives you an overview about Forex and how we're taking advantage of it here on the Highway to Freedom. I have the privilege to introduce our next presenter, our next host, the young man who I was just talking about, who took that account from $200 to over $55,000 to speak to you about the other quadrant that we're taking advantage of as business owners here on the Highway to Freedom. This man is a family guy. He's a fun guy to be around. I've had the opportunity to travel the world with him. And I mean, he's wise. I look at him as my wise guy, you know, not because he's older than me, but just because of the things that he talks about and the way he presents it, but still fun at the same right. I have the privilege, guys, to introduce none other than Mr. Lawrence Martin. Mr. Lawrence, are you on the line? Let me unmute him.
Yes, I am. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm glad to be that to you. You're that and a lot more to me. So, good night, everyone. As Shade said, I am here to show you the other side of that quadrant. Just as he started in that lower right-hand side, I'm going to that upper right-hand side, the business owner. All right, so as Shane alluded earlier, one of the things that I love about this program, it's something I've lived by for years and it's just being extended here. The more people I can help get what they want out of life, the more I'm going to have in mind. And this is where it truly shows. It truly shows how by helping that friend, family member, whoever is in your life, who you want to reach to those points that you're reaching together with you, this is where you're going to see how by you helping them, you're also helping yourself. All right, so without further ado, as Shane said, Highway to Freedom, we teamed up with a company called National Wealth Center. The National Wealth Center is a company that's been around for about 16 years, during which time they have passed from member to member over $250 million. All right. So, you know, as I say with this part of it, right, it's not a must, but it's a plus. We're not like those network marketing company are going to be harping on you all the time. Oh, how much people you recruited this week? How much people you brought to the meeting? How much people? No. This is all up to you. And if I give you a story about myself, I've been involved in network marketing for over 30 years. It's something I believe in. It's something that I love. But when, from being in all different kinds of companies, selling all kind, Amway, selling all kind of lotions and potions, Organo Gold, I was selling coffee, all different kind of things. Primerica, I was selling insurance. I've been in this business because I love the business concept of affiliate marketing. So when I joined up on the Highway to Freedom, and we started looking at the affiliate marketing side, I told Shane, I'm like, Shane, I'm not going to be doing this affiliate marketing thing. I'm just coming in here, learning how to trade. I can make my money from trading. And I mean, as Shane told you before, I took an account in October from $200. That's now over $56,000. All just from trading. Why do I need the network marketing? So I told him, you know what? I'm not going to be doing the affiliate marketing. But I have my cousin who has been with me through all of those companies that I've been with before. He's gonna, if I get into something, I'll give him a call. Hey, Kerwin, I just got involved in this. And all he'll tell me is, okay, send me the link so I can join. All right, so when I got into this, I just had to tell Kerwin. Kerwin came into this, he also said, I'm not going to be doing the affiliate marketing program. I'm not going to be doing network marketing. I'm done with that. Suffice to say, Kerwin has one of the biggest teams in Highway to Freedom right now. All right. So the reason why I went through that little story, just to show you, this team building part of it, it's going to happen organically. It is going to happen organically. Because unless you're a hermit that lives on a mountain somewhere and recluse to the world, I'm very sure you have friends and family members who you want to rise to the top with you, who you know they're searching for a different avenue just as you are. That's the reason why you're here. All right. So this is how it's going to work. All right. To receive those signals that Shane told you about earlier, it's going to cost you $109.95 per month. $9.95 of which is the National Wealth Center administration fees. All right, so $9.95 goes towards the administration fee. The next $100 is paid directly from you to your sponsor. As we said before, they pass along $250 million from person to person. All right, so you're going to pay that $100 directly to your sponsor. Now, as I said, you're going to have your people who you want to grow with you. This is how it's going to work. You bring a friend into this opportunity. All right, I'm sorry. I just went beyond myself there. All right, so you bring a friend into this opportunity, and this is what's going to happen. All right, your friend is going to pay you $100 every month. All right, so think about this. You paying your sponsor $100 a month, your friend paying you $100 a month. How much money is coming out of your pocket? Right? So simply, basically what we say here, you recruit one person and it's free because now you have no outer pocket. So you are getting your signals every month for free. All right. Somebody else is paying your membership dues every month. But I'm pretty sure you have more than one friend. And this is where the beauty starts. This is where the money starts rolling in. So you bring your first 4 people into the team. Now, number 1 and number 3, they are going to pay you directly. All right. Your number 2 and number 4 persons are going to be passed up to your sponsor. All right. So at this level, you're making 200. I know some people, I usually get that, oh, so why do I have to pass those 2 up? All right. That's the system. But then remember that number 1 person that you kept, that number 3 person that you kept, they are going to pass up their number 2 and number 4 persons to you. All right. So as we see here, the green men in this are your money. They are your money. So right here on this level, your number 1 and number 3, each passed up their number 2 and their number 4 to you. Now you're making $600 of income every month, month after month, right? So $600 mightn't sound like much, but think about this. If you take part of this $600 every month and throw it into your investment account, all right, you're going to see how we're going to be building, right? And like Shane talked earlier about that 5% a day, 25% a week, 100% a month. Now just think you adding some income from here into that, into your trading account. Don't you think it's going to make you get to your goals even faster? All right. Next level. Those 4 people that you got over here, they each give you 2 more. All right. They each give you their 2nd and their 4th person because everyone who pays you directly, they are going to have to pass up their second and their fourth people to you. So right here you see $1,400 of extra income coming in every month. All right. Now I know some of you asking me, but Lawrence, I have more than 4 friends. I have way more than 4 people I could bring into this. What happens then? So guess what? Whether from your 5th person to infinity, whether you personally recruit 5, 10, 15 people, the only people you are going to pass up is your second and your fourth. Everybody else is going to be coded directly to you. All right. And each of these people pass up their second and their fourth, and the second and the fourth, and the second and the fourth, till infinity. All right. You just think of now you're sitting there with 50 people paying you $100 every month. That's an extra $5,000 every month, month after month. A whole total other stream of income, making you a business owner. Right? A $5,000 a month business. Right? Next thing I like to talk about is another way that we make money is to save money. So there's an app through National Wealth Center called My Deals. My Deals, it's a app where as when you join National Wealth Center, they give you the code. It's a mobile app you put onto your phone, and you can search your area or any area that you're in to see all different types of deals that they have. You know, you have these like you see here, Carvel ice cream, Curves gym, food. I use it to do my oil changes. All right, so it helps you to save money as we go along. But since we're here touching on that business owner end of it, I do want to jump in here and give you a couple benefits of having your own home-based business. Being a business owner, the ability to earn extra income. So you could stop trading hours for dollars. We don't have to be out there doing a second job, taking hours away from our family to earn extra dollars. All right? We simply having that time freedom, taking the little time during the day that we use to trade, all right, that we use to speak to people to build your team. All right. And the thing I like most about a business owner is tax breaks. Why? What kind of tax breaks? All right. The difference, the main tax difference between being an employee and being a business owner is an employee earns, pays his taxes, and then spends. Whilst a business owner, he can earn, spend, and then pay the taxes on what is left. All right. So I encourage you to take part in both streams of this opportunity that we have here. You know, do the trading, you know, put away your investments, but also you're building yourself on the investor end and building yourself on the business end, becoming a business owner. All right. So that's kind of my time here for tonight. What I'd like to do now is introduce you to a colleague of mine, my brother, who, just like everyone else on this team, believes in that fact that the more people I can help to get what they want out of life, then I can have everything else in the world that I want. He lives it every day in all different manners. You know, I like to call him my health guru. He's helped me with my health, with my weight, with so many different things. He helps me a lot with motivation, with showing us all the different ways that money works. all the myths that we have about money. You know, Femi is the guy with the answer. So before I leave here, I want to say, I do hope that you gain something from what I have, and I would like to see you at the top here with me. But as I'm leaving, I want to introduce my friend, my colleague, Mr. Femi Odunusi. Femi, are you there?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Not on a Sunday night.
Absolutely. Exactly. I definitely appreciate those kind words. It is a pure pleasure to actually work with Shane and Lawrence on a daily basis. These guys are really locked in, and they're really about the membership and seeing people actually accomplish their dreams. Okay. Here on the highway to freedom, we're not just all about making money, because if you've been with us a little while, I've showed many videos that shows you that more money doesn't just solve it. You got to have money that actually leads to you living out your passion, which can lead to true freedom. Because one of my favorite quotes is, if you love what you do every day, you'll never work a day in your life again. And a lot of times people are on jobs because, you know, life happens. You got to pay the bills. You have kids. You have responsibilities. But is it really what you want to be doing? Let's be honest. Is it really what you want to be doing? Or are you doing it just for money? So, you know, when you have an opportunity like Forex that allows you to truly follow your passion, not just make money, but follow your passion, so that when you're following your passion, you can actually now make your dreams come true, and you don't have to just dream at night. You can dream in the daytime, if you get where I'm going with that. So I'm not going to take up too much time. I actually have a nice video to show you guys tonight. I'm going to show the video. As usual, I'm going to get into my assessment at the end, wrap a couple things up like a nice little bow, and take it from there. So I'm going to get into the video now, and then we're going to take it from there.
Hey friends, this is John Assaraf, CEO of Neurogym and New York Times bestselling author of Having It All and The Answer. And you may remember me from the smash hit movie, The Secret. Now, I'd love to share with you some of my thoughts on money. And as you're well aware, money is not everything, but I can share with you that it sure makes a difference when you have a little bit extra money to be able to do some of the things that you really want to do. I'm sure you've heard the saying that time is money. And I also believe that money is time. Now, here's what I mean. When you have a little or a lot extra money, it can actually buy you discretionary time. Time with your family, time to travel, time to devote to the causes or charities that matter the most to you, time to enjoy the hobbies, and time to just be you instead of always just being on the go and doing all the time. And so time, Bruce Lee said, is what life is made of. And having more of it to choose what you do with it is actually your greatest ally and resource. Unfortunately, for many people, when you're just making enough to squeak by or just make ends meet, or maybe just a little bit extra, it doesn't really give you the freedom to create the lifestyle that you dream of. And what I think is what everybody wants is the lifestyle you deserve and dream of. Now, that is one part of it, but there's another part of it as well, and that's around thinking of your retirement. And I don't know how old you are, but with me being in my 50s, I'm always looking at how long am I going to live and how much money do I need to have put away so that I could live to the end of my life in comfort, so I could be relaxed. And I'm sure you want to feel relaxed and certain about your future and possibly even your retirement whenever that comes. One of the things I would love to suggest is something that may cause you to feel a little uncomfortable or uncertain about for just a minute. But if you play along, I promise that it's going to be worth it for you. So here is what I'd like you to do. Imagine for just a moment the amount of income that you've made in the last 12 months. Now, here is what I'd like you to imagine and think about. What if you could make the same amount of income that you made in the last 12 months in just 6 months instead? I guess you would think that would be pretty amazing, right? Well, what if I told you that you could make it in just 1 month? That would be even better, right? Make what you made in 12 months in 1 month. Now, there's a part of your brain right now that may be saying that it can't be done or that you can't do that. And here's what I can share with you. If you're having some inner dialogue saying that that's not possible, I don't know how to do it, he's just making this up, that thought and the emotion that comes with that thought is absolutely normal. Well, what I can also share with you and what I know to be true is you can make what you made in 12 months in 6 months. And when you really get serious and upgrade your knowledge and skills and your beliefs, you can make it in 1 month. You just need to know how to do that. What I always tell people around the world is people don't earn what they're capable of earning. They earn what they are conditioned and what they believe they're capable of earning. And what I'm going to teach you in this video and in others to come over the next few days is how to do that. And together, I'm going to help you shatter your ideas of what is possible for you to achieve. And I will also show you how to shatter your financial glass ceiling, the ceiling that you and I and everybody else has based on our past and our current circumstances. And I'll show you how to do that one step at a time. One of the first things that I'd like to share with you right now is that based on the latest brain research, you can retrain your brain to overcome, release, let go of any of the mental and or emotional roadblocks that are now keeping you from succeeding at higher levels than you are right now. And what I can also share with you is that I know that when you see this process and my presentation on this, you'll understand how you can do this. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'm going to show you this amazingly fast car. It's called a Lamborghini. Now, you may or may not like this car, but you cannot dispute that this is one of the fastest cars you can drive, right? Good. Now, there are two reasons why this car may not go as fast as it can. And what I mean is, I'm not talking about it doesn't have gas or the engine doesn't work. Let's assume it has gas and the engine works perfectly. The car's in perfect condition. It's totally capable. So what would be two reasons that this car couldn't go as fast as possible? Number one, the driver. The person who's driving the car may not be skilled enough at driving it really, really fast. And even though they may not be skilled enough right now, by upgrading their knowledge and their skills, and by practicing and training, they can change that fact and learn how to drive that car faster and faster and faster each week. That's number one. Now, what would be number two? The second reason is that the car may not achieve its top speed is because there's something that may be a governor on it. Yes, I said governor. Now, you may be asking, what is a governor? And in the image that I'm showing you, a governor, okay, is something that allows the car to only go to a certain speed. And then no matter how hard you press on the gas, no matter how hard you try, a governor will not allow the car to go past a certain speed. A governor is a mechanism that, despite the ability of the car being, let's say, 250 miles an hour in this case, if the governor is set at 50 or 75 miles an hour, regardless of how fast the car can go, the car will never get past that speed, regardless of its potential. So why am I using this analogy today? Well, the reason I'm using it is because you also have a hidden income governor. within you, and that acts in the exact same way. What I call a financial thermostat or internal governor is what keeps you in your current comfort zone and income, regardless of how much you learn or how hard you try to earn more. This internal governor or thermostat kicks in and sabotages your progress and greater success and financial ability. Now, this all happens at an unconscious level beneath your awareness to recognize it. And what you find is you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 back, or 3 steps forward and 4 back. Whatever your brain is conditioned and set to earn is based on your past conditioning and your current comfort zone. See, you can be comfortable and not happy. You can be comfortable and miserable. And this internal hidden setting is what actually will determine how much you actually earn every week, every month, and every year. Regardless of your potential, you and I have a governor, a financial governor, as well as a governor on every other area of our lives. And so just like the car has amazing potential, as do you, unless you learn how to release and reset the governor that is keeping you stuck, you're going to feel like you have so much potential, like you're standing on the edge of your potential to earn more, but you'll consistently keep earning what you've been conditioned and unconsciously and secretly expect to earn. So in order to reset your financial thermostat and governor and release that part of you that is holding you back, what you really have to do is use the latest in brain research and neuropsychology to retrain and reset the governor and your financial thermostat in your brain first. And that's what's going to cause you to take actions and think and feel in line with the goals that you want to achieve. Your current internal settings are comprised of your beliefs, what you believe to be true, your habits, which you are conditioned to do every day, the values that you have, your perceptions of how you see yourself and the world and what's possible, and the emotions that govern whether we take action or don't, whether we have fears or not. And so if you're serious about stepping up your income and your life so you can have more freedom and the time to do more of what you love with the people that you love, then I'd love you to join me.
So that was the video basically that I wanted you guys to see. And he got into a couple of points there, and I'm just going to recap it real quick, at least my assessment of it. Everyone obviously who's on the line probably got something a little bit different out of it. But the point is that, in my opinion, as I recap this, money is mental. So they often say that sports is mental, but money is also very mental, okay? Because how you're introduced to money is usually how people stay and think about money. So we go right back to the early childhood. So one of my first things is that, what was your upbringing on money? I know mine's personally, I grew up with a West Indian mother. So I heard all the phrases, money don't grow on trees, turn off the lights, all this type of stuff like this, because that's coming from a scarcity mindset. Now, I don't blame my mother, not at all, because I love her. And even though she's not with me today, she gave me a great upbringing. So that's not my point of mentioning that. The point is that at the end of the day, that's a scarcity mindset. And yes, we didn't have a lot of money coming up, but remember, words are very powerful. So if you're introduced to something one way, it's going to obviously take a change for you to know it as a different way. If that makes sense. Yes or yes. So at the end of the day, what I'm really trying to get at is that the way that you're brought up about thinking about money, is it scarce? Is it abundant? Is it easy to get? Is it hard to get? Do you only see certain type of people get it with different, based off, ethnic backgrounds? So all of that type of stuff goes into the upbringing of how you were introduced to money. as, you know, as a young adult. The second thing that I recapped and got from it is, what is your current upbringing about money? So I was talking about just recently there about childhood. Now that we're all adults, do you still have that mindset deep down in your subconscious? A scarcity mindset is what I'm referring to. So one of the two questions that I just noted here, do you still have that belief today? And do you believe that money is hard to obtain, or at least for you? So you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do you still kind of think about that way of money, no matter how you were brought up? Maybe some people on the line were brought up with a lot of money, so they came with an abundant mindset, and that's great, because that's the way that we should think about it, because money is only energy. So we can attract that energy to us, obviously not with hocus pocus, but with, you know, the things that we do. But if we remain positive in our thoughts about money, followed with the positive action and a teaspoon of patience, that is the recipe for keeping, bringing, and attracting money in your life. So a lot of times, one of the second questions that I jotted down here is, he talked about something about a governor, okay? A governor on a car, as he stated, stops it from going to the top speed. So sometimes we are on our way to success, and let's just say I only made 70,000. That's the most I ever made in 1 year. And for whatever reason, I see I'm about to go past that mark. Subconsciously, your mind is saying, hey, whoa, 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 I never really did this before. This is scary. This is uncertain. I've never really crossed this line before. Now, this is all happening at the subconscious level, because no one would say, hey, let me make less money than last year. But subconsciously, if the person who's thinking about 70,000 and thinking that's a lot of money, and that's the most I ever made, and it looks like I'm going to make 85 with overtime and everything like that, you'll be surprised how that starts to make that person feel internally. So I wrote down the question here: success knocked, and mentally you told him it was the wrong house. So that's what I mean by, sometimes we can self-sabotage ourselves unknowingly, just because we see that we're going to actually get to a remark that we never made before, and that's seen to the brain as uncertainty. And everyone knows the brain sometimes shies away from uncertainty because they don't know where it's going to lead. Okay. The third thing is the mental cash ceiling. So this kind of goes back to that same situation. When you have that cash ceiling in your head and you say, oh, okay, I'm good with 70,000. I've made that all my life. I'm good with that. But the reason why that is dangerous is because we live in a world where there's something called inflation and taxes, and they're both always going up. So even if you didn't want to, it would actually behoove you to always have your cash ceiling in your mind rising, at least rising to the level of inflation and taxes, because those two things are going to go up, and they don't care how you learned about money. They're going to keep going up regardless. So you have to raise your mental cash ceiling, because you got to keep up with that, those two particular categories, and they do affect your money. One of the biggest things that takes away from your money is obviously taxes. And then here comes inflation, which is obviously the goods and products that we buy and live on an everyday basis. So whether you want to raise your cash ceiling or not, this is what causes the disconnect here in the United States and all over the world, is that the products and services that we need for our livelihood are always going up. So if we're thinking 70,000, and in a year from now, for us to live comfortable, we would have to be making 85,000. That's a $15,000 deficit. And that's where the anxiety comes in. That anxiety leads to worry. And then that worry leads to some kind of sickness eventually. Notice what I'm saying. I'm not asking if it does. It does. It's proven fact that what the spirit can't handle, it will impose on the body. One of the most powerful lines I ever heard from my pastor. Whatever the spirit cannot handle, it will, not if, it will impose on the body. And that's all sickness is. Because if you break down the word, it's disease, a dis-ease in the body. So if you break it down slowly, it's a dis-ease in the body. And that's what a disease in the body is. And a lot of that disease comes from worry and anxiety of the things that we have to do. So based off that, the mental cash ceiling is an important thing to always keep rising. And one of the ways that you can do that is you don't know where you're going until you know where you're coming from. So that is, I wrote here, why isn't your goal every year to surpass the amount that you made last year? So if I made 70,000 last year in 2016, my goal should have been to make somehow, based off what you think that you could make more than that for 2017. Now the year's not over, obviously, and with the Highway to Freedom, that's clearly a vehicle that can get you there. The fourth and last thing is comfortable leads to complacency, or you can choose to challenge yourself and actually lead to freedom. So when someone is comfortable, they become complacent. And to me, that's the most dangerous scenario to be in, because when someone is complacent, they're not prepared for any changes that can come. And what I've learned on this short life that I've had so far is the one constant thing on this earth is change. So when someone is too comfortable with the situation, even when they're too comfortable in a relationship, what happens? People think, oh, you're taking me for granted, which is a lot of times why marriages break up and girlfriend and boyfriend break up and things of that nature, because they feel they're not being appreciative. Why? Because they've gotten too comfortable, complacent, not, bringing the flowers, not having romantic date nights, not doing the things that they were doing in the beginning. Why? Because they got comfortable. So you should always challenge yourself both in your money, in your relationships, in overall life to learn something new. You're not going to upgrade your bank account unless you upgrade yourself first. And how do I know that? It's simple. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if somebody wants to make more than 70,000 and they've never done it before, obviously they have to spark some kind of change. They have to either learn a skill, join Highway to Freedom, or do something that obviously is going to allow them to make more income. But as I wrote here, only you can make that decision. Only you can get you free. Only you can get you free. So one of my favorite quotes that I kind of paraphrased is, in order to have, sometimes you have to let go. I'll repeat that. In order to have, because it sounds ironic, but in order to have, you have to let go. What you're letting go of is those blocks, those mental cash ceilings, to allow yourself to upgrade yourself, learn a skill similar to Forex, and step out there and follow a game plan. So here on the Highway to Freedom, I like to think we like to give out a great game plan. That game plan actually involves the P390 Forex, which is basically a chart that allows people to now track their success as far as where they're going with taking the signals and things of that nature. Due to time, I'm not going to bring it up right now, but I'll bring it up the next time that we're doing the seminar. But the bottom line is it actually tracks your success and actually takes you on a step-by-step process of exactly how you enter the trades, just as Shane was showing with the MT4. And then now it takes you down a comfortable road. So it's sort of like your GPS to what you're looking to do. So this week we obviously closed out 240 pips. So 240 pips could be taken at different lot sizes. At the micro is 24, at the mini is 240, and at a standard account, which we're all looking to get, that would have been $2,400. So the point is that the micro is 10 cents a lot, the mini is $1 a lot, and then the standard account is $10 a lot. So we obviously give out the calls based off our experience signal calling, and this is how your account steadily grows. So with that being said, I hope, like I said, everyone got a lot out of tonight. Those pen and papers are going to come in handy because I like to close out the webinar with 3 basic questions. The first being, and these are the questions that you should definitely write down, because whoever invited you on the line is actually going to get back to you and find out your specific answers to these questions. Does your money wake up before you? Is the first question that you should write down. The second is, does your money work for you when you're not? So for example, tomorrow's Monday. If I want to take off, just enjoy the summer, do what have you, am I still going to make the same amount of money if I make that decision tomorrow morning? The third is that many people work overtime, but does your money work overtime for you? And if so, how many times per week? So these are 3 questions that are key, in my opinion, to see if the highway to freedom is a fit for you. Because if your answer to any of these is no, I definitely think that you should get back to the person that invited you on the line, because these are the kind of things that allow people to have time freedom, as the video basically went into. But once someone decides that they want to capture and retake back their freedom when it comes to making money, then the real fun begins, because that's when the mental game turns on. And that's when you have to shatter that cash ceiling in your mind. You can make as much money as you want. You can make what you make in a year, in a month, or in a couple of weeks. Or, you know, if you really are ambitious, you can start making that kind of money daily. And this is how you change your mind and change it into the blueprint of a millionaire mindset. So the first thing that always has to be made is your decision to capture back your time. Nothing can go forward without that. Once you make that decision, then you know that, hey, I'm going to do something about that. And here on the highway to freedom, then that's when we come in as one of the solutions to get you there. So I'm basically going to turn it back over to Shane, but I'm going to reiterate one of my favorite quotes. In order to have, sometimes you have to let go. With that being said, I'm going to take it back over to Shane. I want to thank everybody for their time. I understand that you could have been anywhere in the world, but tonight you were with us. I appreciate it. Back over to you, Shane.
I was on mute there. Awesome presentation to Lawrence and Femi. Lawrence, in regards to the business ownership side of this opportunity and the essence of being able to help others along the way, this highway to freedom. And of course, to you, Femi, in regards to putting ourselves in a position to exercise our money, not only our minds and our bodies, but showing us the way to exercise our money and release that governor. I love it. I love it. I love it. So guys, usually at this point in time in our presentation, there's 3 types of people that we'll meet. We have that A person that says, I see everything, what's going on here. I understand, and I'm ready to get started, Shane. Stop the webinar so I can do what I got to do to get going. Then there's that B person that says, I understand everything, but I still have a couple of questions. And we did tell you guys, we're going to give you the opportunity to have those questions answered. Then we have that C person that says, I see what's going on, but this money-making thing just ain't for me. And if you're that C person, the only thing I can tell you is that we're going to see you later. If you're that B person, expect a phone call. Even if you're the A person, expect a phone call from the person who invited you on. Be prepared to answer those 3 questions that we presented to you at the end of this webinar. And let's look forward to seeing you at the top, seeing you all at the top. Guys, it's been a pleasure bringing the information to you tonight. And see you on the other side. Everybody, you have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.